how are you guys? I just realized that I wanted to go live yesterday and I didn't. So here we are. Yesterday was International Women's Day. It was like women's appreciation was hashtagged everywhere and all of that. And I'm just like, man, why didn't I go live and talk about that? Because I've just made, hey Chels, I've just made like such a transformation. Hey Pam, I've made such a transformation in the last like, I would say, year, maybe even less than a year, because it took a while to realize I needed a change. Hey Kendra. So I wanted to kind of talk about my journey on how I have changed my mindset and how I have changed to support more women and all of that. And so all of this, I don't know if, thanks Chelsea. I don't know if any of you have dealt with feeling, well, either you doing it or you receiving it with people maybe not being as supportive or maybe not like bashing each other and not supporting each other and all of that. And about a year and a half ago, maybe a little more, about 2 years ago, I realized I was like, what am I doing and who am I becoming? Like, I am not this person. Like, what's going on? And so all of this that I'm about to say is just from experience. I don't have like any degrees or knowledge or classes or anything like that. This is all experience. So I just figured I might as well share it, because if I can help you guys see it and not like, you guys don't have to experience the whole experience that I went through, that would be a win for me. That's my mindset. So a little bit about the person I used to be. And I wasn't always this person. So a little bit about my background. I won't go too far because I know it's not, you don't really care that much. But I went to a different school my whole entire life. Like, never went to the same school. I was always the new kid. I didn't ever have a lot of friends. I don't have any friends from high school, like good friends. Like, I have a couple of people I talk to and stuff. But I don't have any friends that are like lifetime friends from high school or anything like that, because I never really had the chance to make any, because I was always moving and we were moving to different states and stuff too. So it wasn't like I could continue friendships, and there was no internet back then and stuff like that. So a little bit about why I might have been like learning this later in life, or maybe it's just like as you get older, you notice it. So I was becoming, over the last couple of years, not anymore, but like I was becoming this go with the flow type of person. I was becoming this person that was just, I'm going to give you guys resources to fix this if any of this resonates with you. So I was becoming this go with the flow person. I was becoming this person that was just okay following the leader and not being the leader. And I'm just like, how did I do that? How was I not taking control of my life and my friends and the people I was with and all of this stuff? But I was finding myself, hey Chels, or thanks Chels, I was finding myself doing things that I'm like, should I be doing that? Like, I'm not saying it was a good thing at all, but I'm just saying these are the things I was doing. So I would find myself talking behind other people's backs. And then the thing was, like, when someone like confronted me about it, I was honest. I was like, yeah, I said that. I was just having a conversation and I didn't notice I was doing it. I apologize. Like, because that wasn't who I was to the core, I was just going along with the flow of other people. So maybe I was, hey Christy, hey Amanda, hey, is it Tisa? So hey Francis. So I was just like, okay, I'm talking about other people behind their backs. I never used to do that. Like, why am I doing that? And then, and a lot of it wasn't like bad talks. It was more of like, I don't know how to deal with this situation. Can you help me? And it didn't turn out too healthy, if that makes sense. And then I was also, this was like a big thing. And this was when I was like, aha, like, you need to change something. Like, what are you doing? Have you ever been doing something? You're like in the actions of doing it and you're like, wait, why am I doing this? What am I doing? I would like screenshot things. Like, you guys, I'm not proud of this, but it's like, I just want to be completely honest so I can tell you why I've changed and stuff. But I would find myself like screenshotting pictures and being like, oh my God, look at her hair. When it's like, who am I to say anything about that? Like, I'm just still learning how to take care of my hair. They're like, look at her makeup. I have no idea how to do my makeup, or a screenshotting it like, oh, look at this or look at that. And it was the people I was surrounding myself with that were doing that. So I basically hey, Kristen, hey, Katie, the only way, this sounds terrible, but the only way for me to carry a conversation with them was to be bad-mouthing other people or to be participating in this negativity or this like women bashing. Like, I am just so like pro like girl power and like people working together and all of that now that I'm just like disgusted with myself that I was the way I was. And again, it's not who I am to the core. So it was easy to fix once I realized I was doing it. And two, it's just, it just wasn't cute. Like, it was terrible, you guys. Like, and it's like, I don't know if I'm making myself sound like a terrible, terrible person. So I really hope it doesn't come across that way. But I was really just around the wrong people. So, yeah. So that, I'm not just realizing this. I realized it, Chelsea just said, so proud of you for just realizing this, or for realizing it, but I'm not just realizing it. I realized it when I screenshotted something. This was like a year and a half ago. I screenshotted something and like the literally act of screenshotting, I was like, who am I? Why am I doing this? She looks beautiful in this picture and I should never be bashing her for that. What the hell am I doing? That's literally all it took. It took this like, what the like, I was talking to my husband about this before and I was swearing a lot and I was like, I'm not going to swear that much whenever I do it, but it's so hard not to. So here are the things I decided to change. So yeah, like we might all be bad. We might all have bad tendencies. We might be doing some bad things. That's okay. It is who it is. It's okay if you realize it and move on and change and decide to change. And I think that, thanks, Katie. So I think that something huge is deciding to make that change. But then what? How do you do it? What are the actions you take? How can I change? Yes, I can be like, hey, I am not going to talk about somebody if they're not in the same room and can't defend themselves. Yes, I am not going to take screenshots of people and talk shit. Like, what the hell? Who does that? I mean, guys, petty bitches do that, but I was being a petty bitch, so it is what it is. But that's when I decided not to do that. Then what are the next steps after that decision? So, sorry if anyone just got offended by me saying petty bitch, but I called it to myself. So it is what it is. But so here's my first thing. So I have a stack of books right here that I'm going to show to you guys. And I made sure it was flipped the camera so you guys can read the books and the titles and all of that. But here was my first step. This was my first step. And it's funny, this is the same paper. Look how you can like see how like, oh, it's all backwards, but see how it's like destroyed paper, like it's all crumbled. This is the same paper that I've had for a year that I've been doing this. And when I decided to change, it is 21 morning affirmations. So I started waking up and doing affirmations because obviously, you know how they always say like, oh, if someone is talking bad about you, they really feel that way about themselves deep down inside or whatever that is. It's kind of like, all right, like I can give you that to an extent on some things, but not most things. But I did want to start with myself because it's about me and how I'm treating other people and what I'm doing and the actions I'm doing. So it's about me. So something needs to change within myself other than just acknowledging it. So these 21 morning affirmations, I actually want to take this paper and like take it like that and frame it. So in the morning I could just grab the frame and just sit there and read them, be like, da, da, da. Okay, I'm done, and then put it back. But I can post this in the comments if you guys want it, or you can look up affirmations, look up morning affirmations, look up success affirmations, business affirmations, positive affirmations, or, you know, you can like put whatever verb ahead of affirmations to find out what the affirmations you need. You know what I'm on. So I'll read you a couple. I won't go on and on. I won't read all of them because it does take time. But things like, oh, so just so you guys know, I thought this was complete BS whenever I started affirmations. I'm like, okay. And then like within a week, stuff was changing. And I was like, holy crap. So it's all in the mindset. It starts in the mindset. Megan, I love you. So here are some of the affirmations. I laughed my ass off through this for like the first 3 days. I was like, okay, I accept myself just as I am. Okay. Like that's how I was like, but I'm saying it. I'm just going to keep going through the motions. I'll say it. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Katrina. I saw a bunch of people on. Megan, James, Ashley, Christina, Stephanie. I love that. There's a couple of guys that hopped on and it was about women empowerment. So I love that. I love myself deeply and unconditionally. I am beautiful. I'm enough. I'm blessed. I laughed my ass off at that one. I fully surrender my desires and trust that the universe has my back. Everything in my life is working out for the highest good. My success is inevitable. Today is filled with blessings and I open my heart to receive them. My life is overflowing with joy, love, and abundance. Laughed my ass off about that one. Like hey Adrian, I was laughing so hard at all of these, but by continuing to do them and being consistent over time, things in my life started shifting. So I was like, it's working. And it was like almost like I just needed that one thing to show that it was working right away. Hey Molly. So I started on Pinterest. I would Google, or I say Google, but I was in Pinterest. I actually use Pinterest instead of Google most of the time. So I would like write in, I would search how to be happy, how to like different things like that, because I was like really depressed on top of that. But like little things like how to be happy and things like that, or in Pinterest, like just get you into like digging. You end up on different sites, you end up on different blogs, you're reading different things, and it's all coming in and you're going to take and pick and choose what you're going to use. But then these books, these are the books I have. I can't find all of them because we've moved a year ago and I still haven't unpacked them all because I have commitment issues. But here are some of the books. So Happy Bitch. This is by Carol, Keryl? I guess it's Carol Pess. That's the author's name. And then it says The Girlfriend's Straight Up Guide to Losing the Baggage and Finding the Fun, Fabulous You. So yes, there's reasons why you're being shitty, you know? Like, it's just part of it. Okay, so here is this one. You Are a Badass. This one was floating around a lot a couple of years ago. I think people still talk about it, but it's pretty good to know, like, there's different sections. Like, there's like a You Are a Badass Money. There's actually a chapter, my favorite chapter in here was You Are a Badass Money edition, or money, like about money. You're a badass, and it's like, hey, maybe you have like, you've been taught X, Y, and Z, and that's why you think that way about money. Maybe you have this and this and this, and like that chapter, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then she came out with the You Are a Badass Money, but I was looking for it and I can't find it. And I know I got it when we lived here, so I have no idea where it is. Okay, so You Are a Badass, there's this one. There's also You Are a Badass Money edition if you have any of those issues with money and like accepting it, spending it, whatever it is. So there's that. Then now you're going to see a theme because I'm slightly obsessed. If you guys don't know who Cara Alwill-Leyba is, like you need to look her up. This is Fearless and Fabulous, and they're all like workbooks. I have like multiple copies of these, but they're all like, see how I won't like show you it too much, but there's like writing right there, and then I have highlighting and stuff. And at the very end of each chapter, it has like, okay, now let's revamp, let's move back. Did you learn what you're supposed to learn from this? What are you going to change? All that. So that's like that. Girl Code. This actually was just re-released as a second edition. So this is my first one. I have the second one also, but it's like, you can see I like wrote in it, I highlighted in it, I did all of that stuff. And that's a workbook, not a workbook necessarily, but at the end of the chapters, they have information about that. So there's that. And then there is this final one that if I really wanted to hire a life coach for a very long time, which I'm going to talk about in a second. I really wanted to hire a life coach for a long time, and I mean, they're expensive, so that was not an option. And so this came out. It's called Style Your Mind. And it is basically, it says a workbook and lifestyle guide for women who want to design their thoughts, empower themselves, and build a beautiful life. And so this is Cara Alwill-Leyba, again, my favorite author. She's huge on social media. I just love her. She has an amazing podcast. It's actually called Style Your Mind. I love it. Like when I get ready, I only listen to podcasts by her. Like that's all I do. But so this is a 100% workbook. So I haven't finished it all the way. Oh, I guess I haven't gotten too far. But it's okay. But it's like a 100% workbook, and it's like, what do you feel today? Like, what are you doing? Some things to talk about. What have you accomplished? What are you most proud of? Like different things like that to empower yourself. So those are the starting books that I started with. And like now I read leadership books and business books and all that stuff, but those are still so great to have to be lifting yourself up, because you need to have You need to be functioning at a higher vibe. You cannot be functioning at this talking shit level or judging people level, which we're all going to judge. Not all of us really, because I was going to move into talking about my life business coach that I have now. She literally is like 100% judgment free. I'm like, goals, like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine like not walking and being like, oh, I wouldn't like those pants. I actually said that about someone yesterday. I was like, oh, her pants are terrible. My stomach just hurt saying that out loud. And it's human nature, but if you're aware of it and you're trying to fix it, it'll get better. So I actually have advanced to a life coach and a business coach now, and I go and see her weekly. I talk to her almost every day, and she's helping me become a better person, and that has been my goal. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Everyone has a past. Everyone has things that bother them. Everyone has insecurities. And when you realize that and think about that, like the world gets so much smaller. Like it's like, oh, like I'm just like I'm like this little sliver that everyone has all of that, you know, like it doesn't matter. Like we were sitting, I don't know if I was with my husband or if I was with someone else the other day. I was like, oh, I was with Bird, my new friend Bird. I was with her and we were at a restaurant, and I was like, it's crazy to think like that person might have like issues with his parents that he still can't get over. That person over there might be in a fight with her best friend and she's having a terrible, terrible day today. Like, it's just so weird when you think about like, you're not the only one, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird because you don't think that way typically. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Amy. Hey, Rosemary. So here is what I would love if you got from this. Realize that you're like the 5 most people you spend your time with. So whoever you're talking to the most, probably your husband, your boyfriend, your spouse, whatever it is, you're going to be most like them. Your best friend, if you, I mean, there's best friends that you talk to like once a month and you just pick back up, that you're not really influenced by them on a daily basis, so I wouldn't say that. But the 5 people you're around the most, you are like them the most. So if they have a bad energy, if they have a bad mindset, you are going to also, and you need to fix that. Like, it's not okay. So check that. Be aware of that. Be aware of who you're spending your time with. Know it's okay to cut ties. It totally is. Jackie, it's totally overwhelming. And I was going to go back to your other comment that you said, and then I have one more thing after this, but it's totally overwhelming. But if you're aware of it and you're like committed to it. So here's the thing, like, I know I could lose a couple of pounds, but I'm not ready to commit to that. I'm not worried about that. There's theory to this. There's a thought behind it, but I'm not ready to commit to losing weight. I'm not ready to change my diet because my diet's already very limited in the first place. So I'm kind of like, right now. I'm not ready to go to the gym and commit to that. So I can't complain about that anymore. Like that, I can't acknowledge it. And once I realized that, I freaking lost like 15 pounds without trying. So that pissed me off. I'm like, why did I decide this earlier? But basically, if you're not going to change it, don't worry about it and don't stress about it, because what's the point? It's wasted energy. And so there's that. So on top of the fact that, yes, it's overwhelming, but like if you make it a priority to be like, okay, today, dude, I got a phone call. I declined that. I've been waiting for that person to call me for like 4 days. That stinks. Okay. I saw something the other day. It's a little bit more profound than this. Like, I'm just going to do the quick one, but they were like, put like 5 rubber bands on your hand or 1, and you're like, move it to the other wrist. So you start right here. I actually saw it for like moms that are yelling at their kids, but then I also saw it for like complaining or being ungrateful or talking crap, like whatever it is that you're trying to work on. Have it on your right arm. You start with here. You can put 5 there and give yourself 5 chances. And you want to end the day with these 5 here. And then if not, you're like, oh, I just judged that person. I have to move this one. Oh, I just did that. I have to move this one. Like, that's another thing, because that's a physical reminder throughout the day. So that might help you because it is a big commitment. But I'm telling you, everything I'm telling you has been a 2-year process. So if I can shorten that process for anyone by saying like, these are the books I found that worked. I had to go out and read all of these books to find the ones that worked. Those types of things, and just being mindful of like the little things. So here's my list of things to walk away from this with, I'm hoping. Be aware of people. The people you spend your time with, the words that are coming out of the people's mouth, just people in general. Just be aware where you're spending your time. Even your Facebook feed. You guys, I see people post like, oh, everyone's so negative and da da da. I'm like, my feed's not negative because I don't allow that crap into my feed. I unfollow that stuff so fast. Like, unfollow. We're still friends. It's fine. I just don't want to see your garbage. Like, I'm not like saying like I'm up here, but like my energy is operating up here. You can't bring me down here. And if you're going to talk about guns and you're going to talk about politics, you're going to talk about all this stuff without having a solution, I'm all for like finding a solution for everything going on in this world. And it's like, literally, that's like in my heart so much. But if you're just going to bash it and not have a solution for anything, like get out of here. Or if you're just going to complain about your job and your life and all this stuff, I understand that at some points, like, you can't leave your job right away without a plan. But if it's been 3 years and you're still complaining about your job, like, get out of here. I'm unfollowing you. So there's a couple of things. So be aware of the people, even in your social media feed. Be aware, and these are the last two things. I think these are the most important two things. Be aware of your actions. So remember when I said, like, I was physically taking a screenshot of something I was going to talk crap about, and I was like, whoa, what am I doing? And if I wasn't aware of my actions and what I'm doing, I don't even think I was necessarily looking to change yet, but I needed that. That was my trigger. That's what did it for me. So be aware of your actions, and like, Jackie, I love you right now. Be aware of your actions, and that's like also in your head. So the next one is be aware of your thoughts. So if you can be aware of those three things leaving, I guarantee some shifts will start happening. You'll realize like, oh man, I'm doing that and I really don't want to do that because that's not who I am. Or man, I'm hanging out with this person and like, they don't really, not that they don't do much for me, but they don't compliment where I'm at in life anymore. It's okay to sever those ties. It's okay. And so be aware of the people you surround yourself. Know that you're like the 5 people you spend your most time with. Be aware of your actions at all times, and be aware of your thoughts. And I'm like very self-aware. So like sometimes it's like sickening how like aware I am, because it's like, oh, not again. But those are the main things you need to pay attention to if you want a mindset shift. And it does take time. So give it the time you need, because in the end, if it took 2 years to become this incredible, incredible person, you would never give those 2 years back, because the end goal is, or like the end result is just absolutely incredible. And I'm like nowhere near that, but I'm getting there. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I know I'm not a professional by any means. I'm not a life coach. I'm not anything. This is all just my experience, but I hope it can help somebody, and maybe make the whole women empowerment thing less of a hashtag and more of an actual action, and not just posting something on Women Appreciation Day and instead making every single day Women Appreciation Day. And it's between all of us, mostly. It's a women versus women problem that we just have to get a hold of. So love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this and commenting and interacting and liking and everything. Thank you. And all I have left is go out there, be aware of your people, be aware of your actions and your thoughts. That's all you have to do. All right, guys. Thank you.